Hello, and welcome to Marathon Swim Stories, where we connect with marathon swimmers around the world to find out how they got started, what makes them tick, and why they keep going. It's where we explore the human side of the superhuman feats of endurance swimmers, the connections that we have with each other, our support crew, and the waters we cross. If you've ever stood at the edge of a body of water and wondered what it would be like to swim to the other side, you're in good company. I'm Shannon Keegan, marathon swimmer, water relationship coach, and founder of Intrepid Water, where I virtually teach swimming freedom. Freedom to get started, shed the confines of the pool, or your preconceived notions of what's possible. Find out more at intrepidwater.com. Hello, Marathon Swim Story listeners. As the holidays are starting to set in, I realized that my summer break turned into a bit of a fall break. But the breather has served me well, and I'm getting back in the swing of things with several new episodes in the hopper. A while back, I received an email from Abby Ortega informing me that I hadn't recorded the Marathon Swim Stories of anyone from Mexico. I immediately scheduled a time to record her story. While I haven't gone out of my way to interview a marathon swimmer from every country, I love the idea. If you're listening in a country that hasn't been represented, reach out to me. Shannon at intrepidwater.com. It would be lovely to hear about your favorite places to swim in your home country and what you look for when you swim abroad. Today, Abby tells us about all of the beautiful places to swim around Mexico and invites us to visit. I, for one, can't wait to check them out. I hope you enjoy Abby's story. Hello, Abby. It's lovely to finally meet you. We've been emailing for quite some time now. Tell me about your relationship with the water.
Hi, Shannon. I am very happy to talk to you and talk about my relationship with the water. I started swimming. Well, my parents get me in classes of swimming technique at 3 years old and 4 years old. But I didn't swim after that until I was 40 years old. I love the water. All my life, I love the water. My father take us to Acapulco or some places with water, and we love to be in the water. And my relationship in that time with the water was only, I remember the first thing I did when I arrived to the hotel, run to the sea, no? And for me, it was a pleasure. But until I was 40 years old, my life was in a crossroad. And for everyone, we have that time. And I started to swim again. I remember I was swimming in a pool like 500 meters and I was tired, no? And a very good friend told me, he lives in Cancun. And he told me, Abby, why don't you come here to swim from Cancun to Isla Mujeres? And I say, oh, can we swim? Can we swim in the sea? Yes, it's a competition. What's that? I didn't know that there were organized swimmings, no? And say, okay, I have to train. I only swim 500 meters. So I asked the coach of the pool, and he told me about a person that trains that kind of swimming, and I began training.
How far is the swim that you were training for?
That Cancun Isla Mujeres that I recommend very much is 10 kilometers. But before that, I found a swim in Manzanillo in another part in Mexico. It was 5 kilometers. Well, was 1.5 kilometers. And I flew to that without training. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I did it. And I went with my cousin. And I was in the line, and an old person like, well, now it's not old, but he was 75 years old, asked me, what are you going to swim? Oh, 1.5 kilometers. What? Do you came here for 1.5 kilometers? And I said, yes, it's too much. no, register in 5 kilometers. And my cousin and I said, what? How can I do that? Yes, you go with a side boat. And if you are tired, you go inside the boat. So, okay, don't tell my parents, please, that I will do this. And I started swimming and I finished it. And wow, I love it. I love it. It's the thing that I want to transmit is that I was in love at the first sight, at first swim with the sea.
How long ago?
I am 55 years old. It was.
No, you're not.
Yes, I'm 55.
You don't look like you don't look a day over 40.
Thank you. But I started, that swim was at 40. So I started training for Cancún Isla Mujeres and was incredible. It's a crossing, no? It's a crossing and it's very nice. The water in Cancún, it's the Caribbean. It's so nice, and it's well organized. I have done it like 4 times, that swim, and then I was hooked in the open water swimming. Yeah, it was the first experience in open water.
Wow, I love that. So you went from 500 meters in a pool to you signed up for a 1.5K that ended up being a 5K, and you were in love, and then you did the 10K, and then what happened?
And then I started training and searching for another swim. I did it like Cancun like 4 times, no? And it's interesting. And we all know that the sea doesn't have a word, a palabra, no? The same swim, I have done it in 2 hours and a half, 3 hours and a half, and 4 hours. And once I didn't make it.
Yeah.
I didn't make it, nor like 80% of the swimmers that day. And so it's the beautiful thing about the sea. It's like a father that is strong, but it cares about you. Well, I think of that. And I will talk about that in an experience that I have in Italy. No, I have a big experience with the sea in Italy. But well, I started swimming. I swim in Las Estacas, the place that I told you. I swim in Chiapas, en el Cañón del Sudero, natural barriers, and it's incredible. I swim in Manzanillo, Nayarit, the place that I have talked to you this last weekend in La Paz. It's charity event for oncology to help children with cancer. And you swim in relays in La Paz, 35 kilometers. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. In a group of 8 people, and you swim half an hour with a partner that swims along with you, and you swim half an hour, and then you go in the boat, and other half an hour the other couple, and you swim every 1 hour and a half until you complete 35 kilometers. And I have done it 7, 8 times that, but you can do it in solo, the 35 kilometers. So I think it was 2017 or 16, and I was in the beach, and I told my coach, I wanted to do it solo. And then, yes, of course, I say, 35 kilometers. And I started training for that. And I did it, I swam it in 2007. I started with less. I jumped from 10 to 35. And it was my chance, and it was my goal for a magic swim. I have to tell you that I think the open water swimming is a meditation for me. It's the only place that I have this way in the present moment. I don't know if you have experienced that, but you are in the moment. It can happen a lot of things, but you are not thinking in the future or in the past. or in stories. You are in the present. For example, in that swim was a spacer, my son that swims very fast and very well, Alejandro. And he's very reactive to mosquitoes and everything. And I say, oh my God. And he was swimming, and when he and a bed of jellyfish, like 10, 10 centimeters. And I saw it, nothing happened. And that is the beautiful thing about that you see that and you don't make the story, oh, what happened if he gets, no, he can be very, no. The thing that is happening is that he's swimming, there are jellyfish, and that's all. And it's magic. It's magic. The time doesn't exist, and you are part of the sea. It welcomes you with all the things that it has, no? Jellyfish, waves, and everything, but you are part of it. And it was very nice. Then I decided to do the 22 kilometers in Acapulco. That it's, I want to tell you about Mexico. So the persons that hear me try to come here. So I told you about Cancun. It's beautiful. I told you about La Paz. Acapulco, there is a swim that is called El Reto Acapulco. It's very well organized. Very, very well organized. And you can do distances of 6.4, 11 kilometers, and 22 kilometers. The thing about the 22 kilometers that you begin at 2:00 in the morning.
That's early.
Yes. And it was my first experience in the night. And it was, wow, wonderful. Because I got the bioluminescence. You go, if you know Acapulco, it's a bay, and you start in the bay, and it's all with the lights of the bay, and it's beautiful. But then you go to open sea, and it's dark. And then you put your hand, I started to see lights, green lights, and wow. And I told them, shut down all the lights. I wanted more dark so you can see more. And then you go view. It's so nice. And then you go to Puerto Marquez, and you have to return the another 11 kilometers. It was beautiful. I was accompanied by my son again. No, in La Paz, I got my two sons were with me, and it was so nice. And then I wanted to do more distances. In between I made some ocean men that swim that are very nice here in Mexico, in Cozumel and Cital, in Mérida. And I got the opportunity to go to the finals in Yucatan once, and in Dubai. It was the final in Dubai. So I went to Dubai. You know, the open water swimming gives you the perfect justification to go to other countries. I have to swim. I have to go. No, and we went to Dubai, and it was a very nice experience to go there. It was 10 kilometers, and then I decided to do more swimming in foreign countries, and it was Capri-Napoli. This is an experience that is very interesting for me, and it's very important in my life. I went, it's 35 kilometers, but you have to do it in 10 hours. That's the trick about that swim. You have a limit of time. So I went, and I started swimming in an Italian way. So beautiful. Capri and Naples and the pizzas. Well, and I started swimming, and they have this. The sea doesn't have a word. It was the other way. It was, how do you struggle with the wind. You can struggle with the current if you go, the wind is unpredictable. And you go like this and the wind turns you the other way. You go like this, no? And it hit me and in words and extremes because it was, I had that time 11 hours. At the 10 hour, I begin seeing in the boat some attitude, nervous attitude of the people in the boat, and it affects me. And I say, what's happening? No, it's, you can swim, but you won't go to, and I was like, disconnect of that beautiful present moment. And I say, I am going out. No, but I'm going out. Nobody is going to take me out. And I was like, it was very hard. It was very hard. And I swim 10 hours and they give me a medal and or participation, of course. But I didn't make it to the, and it was an opportunity to know what feels that. And it's important. We have to deal with the frustration. We train a year and you cannot make it, but you make it in a way because I learned a lot. It took me a long time, but I learned a lot because in the other swim that I made it in Costa Rica, it's a beautiful swim. In Golfo de Aguadulce, told me, no, it's easy. Well, no, there is no easy swim. And then that 22 kilometers that was in 7 hours, I made it in 9 hours and a half. I was the last one to go out. And for that experience, I told them, no, I won't go out. Train for this, and I'm capable to do this. And I have to do this. No? And I can make it. Are you sure? Yes, I can make it. Give me gummies and I can make it. No? And I finished. And that's why Capri was very important because it showed me how to deal with that kind of things. And I went to the finish line and there was nobody because they were in another part. No, the only one that was waiting for me was my son in a rain. And I want to cry every time I remember it was my son. And he said, Mom, you did it. I told them all, you are going to do it. No, and I did it. And wow, it was so nice. And by the way, Alejandro in La Paz, the last part of the swim, I struggled a lot to go to beat the current. And I was in the last part and my son was with me along. In every stroke, he told me, Mom, you can. Mom, you can. And with only the words, I could. So it's not about the swim or the strength. No, it's about you do the thing. That's Costa Rica and show me a lot of things also, and dolphins and a paradise. But I have to tell you that the next step for me was the thing. I didn't like cold water. But when I was training in Costa Rica, a dear friend, Steffi and I made the tandem in Catalina, but she was training for El Canal de la Mancha. And she told me, Abby, please come with me in my trainings in cold water. And I say, okay. It was my first experience. I was going to swim in a 30 centigrades in Costa Rica, and I was training in a pool of 50 centigrades. I don't know in Fahrenheit, but it's very cold. But I started training in cold water.
30 centigrades, 80 Fahrenheit. That's warm.
That's very warm, but 50 centigrades is 60 Fahrenheit. 60 or less Fahrenheit. And it was a really shocking experience. And I trained with her in cold water for her Canal de la Mancha, no? And our coach once told me, Abby, you trained all the way with Steffi. Why don't you do the Canal de la Mancha? You have trained it, no? And I said, okay.
Did you know that there's more to swimming than just putting one arm in front of the other? You've developed a series of habits over your time in the water. How are those habits serving you? If you'd like to swim faster, but feel like nothing you do in your training helps, or perhaps you're inspired to swim further, but it doesn't seem possible, let me know. You are biologically wired for change, but you can't do the same thing that you've always done. It's time for something different. I've created a 6-week program to rewire your brain to swim freestyle efficiently, suitable for any level of swimmer. Check out intrepidwater.com to find out more about my Introduction to Freestyle Fundamentals, self-paced, and group coaching programs, or email me for details. Shannon at intrepidwater.com.
And here comes the opportunities, Shannon. The opportunities in life, you have to take them when they appear in front of you. And Steffi once called me and told me a slot in the Canal de la Mancha was left by one of my friends. Do you want it, Abby? You have to take it. It's the first lot. And it's important to have the first lot. And now I am in Mexico and I have to travel. You have to have the first lot. When is it? July. It's in spring tide. I didn't know what's the meaning. Yes, I took it. And my instinct was to say, okay, I took it. Why? Because my boy told me once that if I wanted to be called open water swimming, and it's not true, but he told me I have to swim the Canal de la Mancha. I don't know, because it's like the Mona Lisa, no?
Oh, okay.
There are many swims, wonderful swims, but Canal de la Mancha is the swim that everyone knows, no? That is an emblematic swim. So he thought that I have to swim it. And he told me, if you die before, I will have to swim with your ashes. And I said, no, Alejandro, no, please, no. I have to swim it. I have to swim it before I die. And well, so I say yes to the Canal de la Mancha. And I started training for cold water. The Canal de la Mancha was for 2021. In July 22, and my friend had from Manhattan, Steffi, that you should meet her. She's very nice and a very good swimmer. He swam Manhattan, then she swam El Canal de la Mancha, and she needed to swim Catalina. So she told me, Abby, let's do Catalina in tandem. Okay, okay again. And it was for 2020. Okay, but we didn't know about the 2020. It hit us. It hit us. And all the swims were canceled, and Catalina was canceled for that. And I had Canal de la Mancha 2021. And then they started opening, the swims, and they put Catalina 2021. And in my mind, I thought that the Canal de la Mancha was going to 2022. I wrote Simon Ellis, and he told me, no, it's 2021. And I say, Steffi, what do we do? No, you swim the Canal de la Mancha. And say, no, but it's your triple crown. Okay. And in 5 minutes, we decided that if it's a training, I do training, Canal de la Mancha training for the Catalina swim. Okay. And I call my coach and say, can I do it? Nora Toledano is my coach. And she said, yes, you can. You have to train, but yes, you can. Okay. So let's do it. I will do Canal de la Mancha in July, and then in September, Catalina. Okay. And then one morning at 6 o'clock, I have another friend that told me, Abby, I was thinking, if you are going to swim the Canal de la Mancha then Catalina, why don't you swim Manhattan? And I say, well, I don't know. I don't know why. I did it. She's the first woman in Mexico to make the Triple Crown in 1 year. And she told me, I did it. Why can't you don't do it? Well, it's 15 years of difference and many things. And we have a pandemic in front of us. But the next day was the registration in Manhattan. You know, it's very difficult to register. Once I register and they tell me no. So I register and I say, I want to do the 3 swims. And I don't know if they say, okay, let's give her an opportunity. And they give me the date in October. So I have the 3 swims booked. And in a year of healing, a world healing, and you have to have lockdown and be inside my bedroom 10 days without going out. The authorities knocked my door to see if I was in lockdown. They call me every day to see if I was in lockdown. I had to make like 3 or 4, the most expensive tests of COVID to show that I didn't have COVID. But it was a great experience. Shannon, I have to say, I don't know if in an ordinary time without this complexity, I would choose to do the 3 swims. I think no. The opportunity, you have to get what you have available. We didn't have pools. I have to switch pools to in order to train. I have to be, you have only an hour to train, so I have to shift to another pool. And that kind of things makes you to be more efficient or be more focused. And you have to, I don't know if you, I am explaining, but it gives you that opportunity and you have to do what you have to do with little time and with little resources. And I swam the English Channel in July 22. It was a lovely experience.
Yeah, tell us some stories from the water, some experiences from all these beautiful swims. You told us a little about Italy, but tell us some other story. In Acapulco, you mentioned too some stuff about the lights, and tell what was the English Channel like?
Wow, the English Channel is, they have told me that the English Channel shows you what you have to learn. And yes, I learned a lot. It's a great experience. I did it in 16 hours, but I don't go with watch. And I told Nora, please, I don't want to know hours. Only, please, I will do whatever you order me to do. Please take me from England to France. I beg you to take me. I do whatever it takes. And I don't want to know the time. Only I want to know when it's only left 600 meters. I only want to know that. And I start swimming in the morning. The thing is that the tide was getting very strong, and it was the first day of my window, and she told me, it's the only opportunity you have. You take it? Yes, of course, I'm here. I take it whatever it takes. And no other boat went on that window. I'm grateful to have that opportunity, because, okay, I started in the morning and then I swam. I realized that I got to France because Simon put the French flag and I thought, okay, I'm in France. But little I know that in that moment that I was like 6 hours, I had to swim 10 more hours. But I didn't know. And it was a full moon and it was incredible. And I swim, I swim, I swim, I swim. And the night came and suddenly I saw the light cap where you have to land. And then I didn't saw it and it was very dark. And suddenly a wave crossed me and someone told me that I didn't have to put out my goggles. No way. And I had polarized goggles, so I didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, Nora told me, Abby, 600 meters. Wow. I know. Before she told me, you have to kick an hour to cut the current. Okay. And I told him, I would do whatever you asked me. 1 hour. And then she told me 600 meters, but you have to go alone. And it was dark, but I didn't mind. And boom, I went, and then all of a sudden I saw rocks, not sand. It was rocks, but I knew that you have to be dry fit. And I said, no way, I have to climb. But I know when the rocks, you don't have to climb. But I didn't want to be disqualified, so I started climbing in the night. I don't know what helped me. And then millions of cockroaches, black cockroaches from the stones. But I didn't mind. I say, go. I don't want to be disqualified. And I started hearing something. I was with
earplugs, yeah.
And they were telling something, but I didn't. Abby, no. And then all of a sudden I hear Nora tell, Abby, congratulations, you landed, but come back. You finished, but come back, please. And I started going down the rocks and I swam again.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was so nice. So nice. And then it came the thing I had to switch, not to rest after the English Channel. I had to be with my head that, okay, close that chapter and then Catalina. It's going to Catalina in September. So I have to start retraining, start training again to Catalina. But I have the long swim. That was La Mancha. But they have told me that when you make a big swim, it gets you like a baby blue. It's like you do it and you boom.
Yeah, yeah. You feel a little sad afterwards. Yeah.
Yes, but I cannot have that because I have the other one.
Right.
So
right.
I started and it was incredible. And we went with Steffi and I went to California and did the Catalina swim. Magic in California. Bioluminescence. We started in the night, as always, and we swim all night long with bioluminescence. We speak a lot and we chat a lot, but in the swim we didn't. We communicate in other ways. We were like this. No one complained. She suffered from a pain, but she didn't complain. I was a little tired. I didn't complain because we knew that we have each other, but also we didn't want to fail the other one. We agreed that if one has to go out, the other will swim. But we have a compromise with each other. So we did it and we landed in Palos Verdes. It was the difficult part to land in Palos Verdes, all rocks.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yes, yeah. Very, very, and very, it's very funny, my way out. I think I do best swimming than walking. So
Yeah, me too. Did you have a pot of dolphins visit? Usually
yes,
there's dolphins.
100. You know, we have 2 shark chills. We didn't mind. I have kicked sharks. I have swim along sharks. And I say, well, if there's a shark, Steffi told me, no, I say, please go for her, not for me. But our coach said, put the shark shield. Okay, we put 2 shark shields in the bottom scratcher. But then all of a sudden it was 100 dolphins. And I say, why they can be near us and a shark cannot?
Mm.
I think it's but it was incredible. I'm not afraid of sharks in that moment because you're a part of the sea universe. So
yeah.
And it was so nice, Catalina. And Steffi got the Triple Crown that day. And we were very, very, very happy. Then comes Manhattan.
Yeah.
In October. It was the last. In Catalina, we made it 4 hours less than in La Mancha, 12 hours and a half. And Manhattan, they have told me that it was the in distance the largest, but in time.
The tide, yeah.
So I went to Manhattan, and it's so nice. It's beautiful to swim and see from the water the buildings. I have walked in that street and see the buildings in the street, and so everything, no? And I was the only one swimming that day. A friend was swimming that day and he didn't make it because of the restrictions. He swam later and he did the Triple Crown also in that year. Stefano, a very good friend, is Italian, and bravo for him, bravo. and I did it in Manhattan that day. And it was, and to see Alex Arevalo, he's the kayaker. I don't know if you know
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
It's so nice. And I am very bad with the numbers. And I was in the 19 bridge, but he told me, no, there are left like 9 bridges. And I saw the Washington, I say, and the other one, well, I don't know. And when you go to the Hudson, no, you see all the island and New Jersey and the building, and you have to go there. You have to go there. And I started swimming, and it's very fast, no? Because you are going with the current, and you say, wow, you pass the building, And then when you got to the finish line, all the people say bravo and applaud you, and I say, oh my God, I did it. I did it. I was so happy.
And then you had your Triple Crown.
Yes, I had here.
Wow! Oh, yeah.
Yes, my friend gave me this, and I always, it's like, wow, it's like a gift.
You show me again. I want to grab a screenshot of that.
And it says Manhattan, English Channel, and Catalina, 2021. Cool. Yes, and it's a gift that I'm so grateful about this experience. And then again comes Caprinapolis.
Oh my gosh! Again, wow!
Again,
you've been busy this year.
No, well, it's 2022.
It is 20.
Yes, I try again Caprinapolis in 2022.
Yeah, but you did it. So that's this year that you did.
No, 2021. I did the Triple Crown.
Okay.
And then I decided Caprinapolis
again.
Okay. And I swam 10 hours. The sky fell on us. The organizer told us that in 20 years the weather hasn't been so rough. It was waves. Again, my son Alejandro went with me and he was like in a boat and I say, oh my God, no. But it was another attitude from the last Caprinapolis. And I say, please, I was swimming and I did know that I was going to get in the line because now was the weather. It was. But I say, please tell me why I do this. A jellyfish struck my head. The waves are golpeándome in my face. I'm struggling. They tell me not go to the Vesubio, but the wind gets me to the Vesubio, not to Nápoles. Why am doing this? Why do I do this? I can go out right now. No, if I know I won't reach the line. And the answer came. It is very easy. Shannon, we love to swim. We do not do, yes, it's a cherry in the cake to go and get to the other part, but we love to swim. That's why we do it. It's a love. They tell me, no, you are an athlete. No, I'm not an athlete. I am not a sport woman. I love to swim and I train for that. But the thing is, we love to do it. And then I pay for 10 hours, so I have to get back money. No? And I say, okay, I will go out. You tell me 10 hours and I go out, but I swim until the 10 hours. I got, and I was the only one swimming the 10 hours. And it was, but it's not that. The organizer was a little, oh, Abby, it was terrible. I am happy, Luciano. I am very happy. I swam and it wasn't incredible. But Sharon, Caprinapolis, and I have a story.
Oh, man, that must have been recently, right? That was the Caprinapolis. Is that last month or September? When was it?
In September, yes. September. And the next month, I will go to Brazil.
Ah, which one? What's in Brazil? Tell us what you're going for next month.
I don't know what's on in Brazil, but there is a swim that is called Leme ou Pontal.
Okay.
It's not a crossing. It's not a crossing. You go from a beach called Leme and you stop in another called Pontal. And they have told me you go Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro. And I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. So hopefully, I will attempt. Yes, Sharon.
Very
so
cool.
The thing I want to share with you that we have to swim or to do whatever we do for the right reason. And my reason is my love of swimming. It's not a hobby for me, a part of my life. And I want to do it as long as I can. I want to transmit you that I know you feel the same. No?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to swim for the rest of my life. You betcha.
Yes. And we can do it if we take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Till we cannot walk, but maybe we can swim.
Yeah. How do you think we can bring more people to the water?
I think it's a way of taking care of your health. It's not so shocking for your bones or, well, don't tell me my arm, but okay. But no, but you know, they tell that people need hugs. The hugs of other people are very good therapy. The thing about the swim is that the water is in touch with your skin and it's like a hug.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
It's a good thing. And you can learn to be in this kind of meditation and gives you peace, gives you, when I am stressed, I work, no? I have a life, I work, I see for my children, no? And you go and you are in in a place that it's you and the water, no? And it can give you many, many things and many experiences and many good moments and very good friends.
Yeah.
Now, you, for example, I know you because of the swim. I have a family of swimmers, no? And it gives you so much, so much, so much.
Yeah.
The thing is, it costs, but you put your possibilities in the thing you want more. Maybe you want a house, maybe you want a car, maybe you want a clothes, but for me, swimming, and I put all my effort, no, in these kind of things, and I love it, and it's the right justification to travel, no?
Yeah. 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 I love that. I think that's a very common theme, I think. And like in the friends you get from it too, because we all have this in common. So there's, we know this about each other, that we all love to swim. So it's
Yes,
nice to have that little kind of backbone of commonality, when we're not afraid to put a swimsuit on and jump in the water. That's
yes,
it
yes,
brings us
yes,
together.
yes. And maybe we can, well, I have a Mexican community. We can make a group go with your community and swim, and you can come here and swim and know, for example, Steffi and I want to swim more in California together. We have to do tandems in California, no? And there is
Yeah.
a lot of swimming in
There's,
California,
yeah.
no? So we are planning one for next year.
Okay, let me know when you'll
Standard.
be there. Maybe I'll meet up with you.
Yes, yes. I mean, La Jolla, we swim in the cove last
Mm-hmm.
September. Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
We love it. We love
Yeah.
it. So it's about, I think, Shannon, you have to say yes. You have the opportunity to say yes. If you think a lot, I am you and I, but more me, I am a very common person, no? And I am, and if I think a lot, oh, if I can do it, no, maybe I don't. But you say, yes, yes, yes. And you start working on that, no?
Yep.
And
I love it.
it's possible. It's possible to do great things for ordinary people, no? And we can do it. And for example, I learned to dance with the waves in Capri. I was struggling and I say, Abby, dance. That's why they took me to the Vesuvio instead of Naples, but I dance with the waves. And you go and you feel and wow, it's like a love story.
Yes, I love that. I love that. But yeah, that's very well put. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Oh yes, Shannon. Thank you so much. And I invite you everyone that hears come to Mexico. And
Yeah.
if you need advice of the swims we have in Mexico, I'm open to share with you, no?
Yeah.
All the swims, the beautiful swims that we have here.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate the tour that you took us on in Mexico. It sounds like some lovely swimming.
Yes. And thank you so much.
Yeah. And Dia de los Muertos. Did I say that right?
El Día de Muertos, yes.
Yeah. You don't say happy. Do you say happy? Like,
oh, you can say happy, but it's more of a celebration. It's not like happy. It's
no. Yeah.
No, it's but here it's the people go to the cemeteries and put food and flowers, and it's a very nice thing.
Well, I will celebrate in our own way with my family today. So thank you for reminding me about Dia de los Muertos.
Yes, Shannon. Yes. Oh, what's very nice.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you were inspired by even just a moment of this story, please share it with a friend. You never know what might push someone out of their comfort zone so that they can find out what they're capable of. And please leave a review with your podcast provider. It truly helps others discover the raw and honest stories of these amazing endurance swimmers. Thanks for listening.